Alright, what you're looking at here is the Sport Glide. If you didn't want a full dresser like a Street Glide, this would be the bike for you. This is in the Softail line. I'm going to look at my notes here. We got MSRP $18,599. Got a low seat height also, 25.7 inches. This is a 64-inch wheelbase on this bike. Again, ABS and a security system is standard. You've got a small fairing, which by the way does come off. Not going to do a whole lot to block the wind on a long ride, but it's going to block some of it. I'll show you inside the saddlebags in a moment. Lots of chrome on this bike, mixed with the black. I like the wheels on it. Again, all your instruments are mounted right here on the console for that clean look on the handlebars, but again, makes it a little more difficult to read as you're riding. You got to look down a bit. Nice looking bike from the back. It appears to be much longer than it actually is. Now these only come with the 107 motor, which again, more than enough power. I like the blackout on the top of the cylinder heads. That looks really nice. The crinkle, black crinkle finish. Let's take a look inside the bag. Yeah, it's pretty roomy bag. I'd say you might even have more room in this than the touring bikes, the Electric Glide, etc. It also locks from the inside and the outside, so nobody could steal your bags. Nice looking motorcycle. It's a nice day, so I'm going to take it out for a ride. There's our forward controls on this motorcycle, so it's a bit of a stretch for me to reach them at 5'7", 30-inch inseam, but nothing extreme. And I'm slightly leaned over to reach the bars, which with the small fairing and windshield is probably a good thing. Leaning into the wind instead of being directly upright. Harley specs say this bike's got a 28 degree lean angle. So the small fairing, it's keeping some wind off my chest area. I could feel it up, the wind coming around my neck, but that's about it. And of course, I'm sure there's accessory windshields that you can get that would block a little bit more. Ride on this bike is a little on the firm side. As compared to, say, the Fat Boy. I just got off of the Fat Boy with, that felt almost plush ride. This is more a sportier ride. This has the stock exhaust on it. It sounds plenty good. It's a nice throaty sound. You know, it's not an aftermarket unit, but it sounds good enough for me. But usually that's the first thing people change. So this riding position, slightly leaned forward, is really helping. Unlike the Fat Boy S, which was directly upright, and you're sitting straight up like this and the wind is hitting you, it makes it a little tougher. By the way, it also is a pretty windy day today here in Florida, and still cold, still in the 40s. Decent lean angle, no question about that. It's a sporty ride. I guess that's why they call it the Sport Glide. By the way, all the Softail models have cable clutches. That means you can adjust the clutch to have that friction zone grab any place you want it to, which is a wonderful thing. Why they changed it on the touring bikes and put the hydraulic clutch in there, I have no idea. I like having the adjustment, and I believe the cable clutch has a much better feel than the hydraulic clutches. The very least Harley should have done was giving you adjustable levers on the touring motorcycles, but on the Softail line you don't need that because you got a cable to adjust it and let it grab any place you want it to. Again, a firm seat, not plush, but generally the plush seats, after a while, after a couple hours of riding, they seem to sink you down and there isn't much left. A firm seat, I believe, is a little bit better. Again, this bike has the 107, and it's not lacking for power. Having just gotten off of a 114, I do notice a little bit of a difference, but it's not a night and day difference. This bike definitely has a sportier feel to it than the Fat Boy does. Not quite as sporty as the S or the Fat Bob, but definitely sportier than, say, a Street Glide. Now the Street Glide will give you a better lean angle and a softer ride, and probably more comfort on the long haul. But let's face it, you can easily get on this motorcycle and fill those bags up with your gear and ride cross country, unless you're a wuss. If you're a wuss, yeah, you're gonna want as much wind blocking as possible. Oh, this is such a big improvement over past the last Softail line and the Dynas, which now, of course, they dropped. Just a superior motorcycle in every way. Better technology, standard ABS. Smooth ride, a little on the firm side, but I got no problem with that, especially on a bike called the Sport, with Sport in its name, the Sport Glide. I'll tell you folks, Gator Harley Davidson, that's the place to take a test ride. Some great roads right around the corner from the place. Virtually no vibration to speak of. As you know, you're on a V-twin, that's for sure, but you know, if you've haven't ridden a Harley Davidson on the new Milwaukee 8s, you're used to even the 103 the twin cams, this is a lot smoother. It is a night and day difference. pushing it pretty good around that turn. Just barely. Could feel my heels touching the ground a bit. Steer's beautiful. I see that woman's got a long leash on that dog, so that's a giant schnauzer. You don't see many of those. I've got a miniature schnauzer. Easy motorcycle to ride. I'm betting anybody, if you're 5 foot tall or above, you're going to be flat-footed or just about on this bike. And the instruments now, if I look down just a bit, yeah, I can see them okay, but I do like to have them in my line of sight without having to look down at all. That's just a personal preference. Bunch of different models in the Softail line, and though they're built on a similar chassis or the same chassis, the feel on just about every one of them is quite different. So you owe it to yourself to ride them all. I know here in the Gator Harley Davidson, they'll let you ride them all, no problem. Just sitting on a motorcycle in the showroom doesn't tell you very much. Probably the only thing it's going to tell you is, can you reach the ground on it? But it's how the bike feels, how it reacts to steering inputs, and how easy it is to ride. You're not going to get that sitting on it. You got to ride the motorcycle. Shift action on these new Softails is just beautiful, very smooth. For some reason, smoother than on the touring motorcycles, despite the fact that it's the same transmission and the same motor. It just shifts easier on these bikes. I haven't seen a lot of sport glides out on the road. I don't know why that is, but they come with the bags. Comes with a small fairing, ABS, as I said, standard, along with the security system and the 107 motor. Plenty of power. Easily ride 700-800 miles on this motorcycle in a day. So it's worth checking out for sure. You could add bags and windscreens and fairings to all the other models, but you got the convenience here that it comes with all those things. And that is a benefit. Oh, I hope you enjoyed this. And since so many people are commenting about they'd like to see me do more of these test rides, well, that's what I'm going to do. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit me a thumbs up if you will. And I would hope you visit my website, ridelikeapro.com, and pick up one or more of my videos. They will change your riding life forever. Till next time.